Hello, hello, hello. What ho! Welcome back to another exciting adventure of your mind and you. I'm the Mind Whisperer, Travel Mateus. I have been having to deal with mental health issues for the past month in a way that I was not prepared. In a way for which, well, no, that's not even true. I have been prepared for this moment. Everything I've done in my entire existence is for a now. Is it now? Is it now? Am I dreaming? Is this a dream? So I have been having difficult conversations with my matriarch, and it has been enlightening for my own personal shadow work. That is, understanding what makes me me, why I am the way I is. And as my ex always used to, and I say always reminded me, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Never really comprehending the tree from which she fell, which is the irony of narcissism. The irony of narcissism is not to have any self-awareness that is positively utilized to correct and remove yourself farther away from the tree if it's a personality trait that is vicious. Because I have learned many, many positive things from both my patriarch and my matriarch, right? It's not like, am I turn this around now that I've done this? I don't think so. It's not like everything I am from nurture is deficient, right? However, there are things that I have been made aware of through the looking glass of my relationship to my mom. And I'll just put this out there. If you know anyone who needs to talk to someone in a non-judgmental situation, this is what I do. I go on walks. I call them perambulatory awareness therapy. I'm therapizing myself right now because I have no other partner with whom I can have conversations about my inner world. So, as I love to do anyway, I talk to myself. I'm going to give you my analysis of the conversation I started with my mother today. I initiated this conversation, and I made it clear that it was about me, meaning I'm not going to be addressing anything that you need to be worried about in terms of like, oh no, what is he going to say to me now? It's not about you. What happened in my aha moment, I'm going to stop this and turn around. What happened in my aha moment was the realization of joy. As I finished grooming myself in the mirror, which means I was simply trimming my stash and making myself look incredibly gorgeous, I had to wipe up the sink because that is what makes my mother happy. She wants her bathroom to be pristine. This is the guest bath. She wants the guest bathroom to be pristine. So I, with joy, with delight, because I love my mother, right? But I didn't love my mother 2 weeks ago when she walked into the bathroom. I mean, obviously the door was open, so it was nothing untoward, nothing indecent. But she said, "I just want to let you know, like how I like this to be kept." Da, da, da. And she proceeded to tell me that after every evacuation of number 2, that is, she wants the toilet scrubbed. Every single time you poop, scrub the toilet. I said, "Don't you think that's a bit much?" Right? To me. But there was my 7-year-old petulant self reacting against something that I thought was too much. Instead of saying, "It would be my pleasure to put a few drops of Dawn detergent in the toilet and take 30 seconds to scrub it out. It would be my pleasure." That's not what I did 2 weeks ago. I had an internal childish retort of, "This is dumb." Don't you think this is a little bit like OCD? Don't you think? That was my initial thing. So 2 weeks of existence after that, I have been cleaning the toilet on a more consistent basis, let's say, right? Not every time, but I know what she likes, and she's good with as often as you can think about it, which is what I've been doing. But I did this on my own. She didn't come to me. She wasn't checking up on me. However, my point in all of this is to bring this back around to my nephew, who is living with my mother, who is distraught and resentful for his not complying with her wishes in the cleanliness of the front bathroom. As I was cleaning up in joy for my mother today, I thought to myself, wait a minute, I think it's possible that this young man who is 22 years old and has zero ambition, zero direction, and all the time in the world in which he sleeps the day away and plays the night into the morning, he does not know how to manage his, not time, he does not know how to manage his mind. So my prediction is, whether or not he would acknowledge this, my diagnosis, my analysis is that his lizard brain of overwhelming pressure, because he has no ambition, no direction, no inspiration, no motivation, and he thinks that his life is so stressful that in his mind, when my mother said, "I would like you to do this every day," it triggered his monkey brain overwhelming switch. It might not be overwhelming to my mother to do this chore every single time she evacuates, but to him, it was a bit much. And he's only 22, and his mind reacted in a petulant fashion. So much so that he does not honor her wishes. Even though I stepped in and gave them both negotiating tools to improve the situation. I got my mom to back off the daily to once a week on Monday. It's like people don't know how to negotiate, you know? Think back to this make-believe scenario when grandmother comes to 22-year-old grandson and says, I would like you to do this on a daily basis. And the grandson thinks, this woman has OCD. This is obscene. Nobody needs to do this every day. This is crazy. Grandmother, actually Grammy is her name, Grammy, is there any way we can come to an agreement where, you know, like what's the least amount of days do you want to go by? She says 2. So that means every 3rd day. So Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, right? Every 3rd day. You good with that? Yeah, I'm good with that, right? That's negotiation. That's a helpful conversation that doesn't happen with people who don't know how to communicate. And the lack of communication that exists between people is a two-way street. The person speaking is the cause of the conversation. The person listening is the effect. If the cause thinks she is being clear in her directions and the effect is confused and the effect doesn't know how to say, I'm confused, can you clarify that for a minute? Wait a minute, can we talk about this for a moment? The communication is going to break down and they're going to be frustrated and they're not going to know why. And they're going to blame the other person. I care about people. I care about you. I care about your child. I care about your husband. I care about your wife. I care about your cousin, your grandmother. If you know anyone who is struggling to understand how to navigate their life, send them to me. Travel Mateus, the Mind Whisperer. All right, how's that? Throw it back at me. Let me see what you think.